Okay, hello, how are you? Well, we're on tutorial number 9 of the tutorial request. I'm going to do something I believe I've never done before. Some sort of a balloon regatta. I know you see the top of my head. That's because this is a 16 by 20 canvas panel. All right, okie dokie. We're going to get right on to it here. All right, and I'm going to get a nice thin coat of glycerin. You see I got it taped up here, mountain range. Then I got another tape for the full land. It's a far way up in the air, obviously type shot because air balloons, right? And so I'm just going to put the glycerin on here, relatively thin. Scrub it in there really good. All right, now this is canvas panel, so it's definitely not going to pour through. And remember, with glycerin, it gets in contact with air, and it also depends on the temperature of the room. It gets a little slick, and so I'm just really scrubbing this stuff right on there because it's going to be the sky. More realistic clouds, almost in perspective. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of that, and in doing that, I got to wait for the blue to dry a little bit. Once I put it on there, pretty good. And I'm just going to fade some darker blue into some lighter blue into some white by the core white down here by the mountains. All right. Okay. So I'm going to start out with straight phthalo blue. Get it pretty deep around in this area right in here. All right. Especially around in the corners a little bit. Just like that. And we're going to try to keep it as smooth as possible. We're gonna just we're gonna do it that way. Now, I will, with these type of clouds, what I'll do is I'll definitely sketch it out here. I'll do it with a thin layer of white. Okay, kind of let you see. Now let's pretend this spot here, this spot right in here, is the vanishing point. You guys should be able to see that dot right there. All right. So they're gonna kind of come around in there. Now we have one big massive block of cloud. All right. Now when you do clouds like this, start from the largest and then you're gonna work your way. And I'm gonna do the spot that's gonna be generally shaded in. I'm gonna come here from the bottom, just like this. And I come down here like that. I'm just sketching out this guy, just like it comes a little round being there. It comes here. All right, kind of juts out right there. It kind of got a little angle to it, like so. And then another zigzaggy kind of angle like that. Let me get some more white here. Let's get the main bulk of this guy, like this. And as I do it, they get larger here. Then it kind of breaks up a little smaller here. Then it kind of juts out right here. And it kind of disappears that way. That's a big blotch of like brownish blue right there. Okay. And everything else that's brownish blue, I'll block it in. This is all shadow stuff. They kind of lengthened like something like this. Okay, some are coming like this. And then you got other stuff. This is all going to be colored brown, and they come this way, like so. Getting some more white. I'm just pretty much fleshing the brown stuff, the darker stuff, like that. All the wispy stuff will be all up and around here. We can just fade all of that in, but we're gonna get some more little batches of brown in there like that. Okay, you'll see as I build up this stuff. Okay, now remember, as you block it in, you're gonna get all sorts of variants of tones and colors and shapes and stuff like that. And that's kind of what you're looking for. I'm gonna block in these guys. Remember, it's a bluish brown. It's gonna be like a bluish gray, and we're gonna use phthalo blue, and I'm gonna use burnt sienna just to get that kind of, and white, and we're gonna get that kind of bluish gray thing going on. Like horizontal, like three, some get more, some get less, like this. All right, now as I'm doing this, remember, this is gonna blend in with some of that blue gray. All right, we'll put some in here like this, a couple of them in here like that. All right, so this will all be blended in. All right, we'll come up around here like that. Oh, we'll snap in a couple right in there, maybe a few lines in here, just like this. Brighten up some of them underneath there. Maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, just like that. All right. We're gonna softly blend that in to those cloud bottoms. So it looks like a little bit of sun is trying its best to peek through there. All right. Now I'm gonna get a small blender. I do have one, even small one. Okay. Stuff like this, little tiny guy. And very softly, I'll just blend some of those in there like this, just like that. This will all make sense in a second or two. Let's get, I'll get a smaller filbert here. We'll start building up some titanium white. And we'll do the same thing. We'll start fading in stuff. Okay. Just like so. And we're gonna mix some of that right into that brown. Right in here like this. Just like this. And we're gonna start building just like that. It's gonna pick up some blue. Don't worry about that. Like I say, we'll be building and building and building. Okay. I'm just pretty much showing you how to do it. Keep that white in there as much as you can. We're gonna mix all of this up in here like that. Cleaning off my brush because there's plenty of blue. Circular motion. Now, as you see me do this, you're looking at the back of my hand now, but as you see me do this, okay, just like that. The important thing really is to blend this bottom in, okay, into that darker color. Blend it, mix it right in there, blend it right up in there. Just like that, fluff that out. It's all right. Fluff it out. X strokes. This is how you just keep building and building. Now you start to see, you're starting to see some depth to these guys here. And I didn't even put the final highlights on them yet. All up in here. Fluff it right out. Just like that. Fluff it out. You're not gonna lose all that bottom either. Okay. Let's wipe your brush. Nice simple X strokes there. Don't be so heavy-handed with it though. It will move. It will move around. Okay. It'll do it. It'll happen, Captain. Okay. Just like so. Okay. The more you blend, the more it goes into the background. Okay. I'll softly do this one. This is very soft. And fluff all this up, have it go into the blue a little bit. It'll all blend just like that. We can get the bigger blending brush and we can join all this together, so don't worry about that either. Fluff all this up and out just like that. Okay, so don't rush this, especially if there's no need to. All right, don't force yourself. Just like that. Look at that. Look at that. Just like that. Blend all that together. All right. We didn't even add the highlights. Not yet. Let's get a bigger brush. We're gonna do some simple light X strokes. Blend all that together. Blend it together. Now it's a little warmer. It's getting a little warmer in my room, so this is starting to tag up, which is even better. So I can really fluff and blend, join it all together, just like that. And plus, doing it this way establishes even more aerial perspective. All right. Just like so. Put it right in there. And I'll just gently soften them all up and blend them. Just like that. Soften it all up. The more you soften them up, the more they blend into that blue back there. All right. Don't worry about that spot. Those of you who keep looking at that spot, we don't need that spot anymore. So we're going to get some titanium white. All right. And we'll just beef up that area of brightness right there. All I'm doing is just pouncing it in. Just like that. That's all it takes. Pounce it right in there. Beef up the white area there. Right by where the mountain is here. And I'll just go in the circles around the edge here. Blends it, softly blends it right in. Okay. This brush is very soft, so don't worry about trying to do too much. You're not. Just like that. All right. Okay. Clean off my little brushy here. Still looking at it. Now, as I'm checking this all out, before I go into the light areas, I'm going to make the dark area here even darker. All right, now this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my little brush, I'm going into the red, going into the blue, which makes obviously a nice deep maroon color, just like this. All right, now what I'm going to do, now watch this, especially by the mountain here, by here, up and around in this area here, just like that, maybe some of that darkness around in there, like that, right? Oh, I'll put in a couple, the paint's wearing off as I'm doing this. Still maintain that sharp edge, keep that edge sharp around in here, right in here, just like this. Okay, now you see that, right? And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna pat halfway into the other gray, into the darker area, just like that. Just pat it in there, just like that. Have it just blend away. Now on my smaller brush, I got quite a good batch of blue. I'm just getting it all out of there. Okay, it doesn't take much. Just clean them real well. Now, as I'm talking to you, a little bit of time has went by. So, you know what? Let me make sure that the microphone's on there pretty good. Okay, as we're doing this, okay, we're gonna go into the final white into this. Let me use the filbert. I'm gonna use, once again, just the tip of the brush. You guys know how I do it. Look down here. All right, get the tip of the brush like that. All right, I'm gonna get some titanium white. I'm gonna just keep it a little bit thicker. This is, like I say, panel board. Things are a little different. All right now, doing it this way, and I'm gonna pop that bright white in there like this. Pop it in there just like so. Okay. Now watch what I'm doing. Okay, especially around the very edges, all up in here. We're not going to get rid of a lot of that previous color. Don't do that. I'm just popping some bright white up in here. Now I'm not going to put it all over the place because it won't be necessarily needed, but just where you would think the sun is going to hit. Just like that. Come around. Okay. I just wipe off the filbert. Still using the tip. That's all. Let's put some of that bright back here like this. And then we'll fade it a little bit. It's like that. I'm just wiping the paint off the brush. I'll fade this in a little bit. And there. Come on down with it. I'll make this travel just like that. Just like that. And remember, I can just tap there, just like that. Bring some of that down there. Now all I'm going to use is just the filbert. That's all. Okay. Just the filbert brush. Brighten up maybe this edge here. Just like that, and then have it come down in here like that. I'm wiping off the paint because I want to get rid of that bottom edge. Just like that, have some travel, but basically just make the bottom edge go bye-bye. Just like that, you know. Scrumble in some little bit of brightness here and there. Just like that. All right. You don't necessarily have to do all of them. Like say for instance this spot here. Do all of that like this. And I'll just scramble the rest away, just like that. Come up in here a little bit, just like that. Leave some of the other ones in the back there. Just gives you a sense of depth and where the sun might be directly hitting. Nothing but pure titanium white. And after I do this little burst of sunlight there, then we're going to peel back the mountain. We'll do the dark of the mountain. But as of right now, right up around in here again. Yep. You keep building and building and building. Look at that. The brighter it gets. Okay. All right. Now I can be slick, but that'll come later on. You'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to just kind of skirt that out horizontally, just like that. Now the paint is getting, the glisten is pretty much dry. So right now, I can go put a little power behind it, but we're just brightening up that spot right up in there. That's where the sun is. Okay. I'm just cleaning off the brush one more time. I hope that this it's working for you. So we're taking about as much time as I would take with maybe mountains or whatnot. Okay. Now I got a little bit of moisture on the brush. I'm just smoothing out some areas that I feel need to be smoothed out a little bit. Okay. It's a very soft brush. You can do this. Manipulate just a little bit. Okay. Now, since I got nothing but water on this, I can add a little bit of pressure, but not too much. Be careful. All right. Just be careful. All right. I'm still looking, checking things out here and there, and I think I've somewhat pretty much got it. All right. Now, it doesn't look as intense yet, for the simple reason you got plenty of bright white down here. So think about that. All right. We didn't add no dark yet, especially when it gets to this mountain range, which we're going to do right now, more or less, because then we'll take, I'll take a break, but there's nothing for you to really gauge anything. Okay. So you really don't too much see it yet, but you will. All right. I'm taking off, let's just take off both layers because it doesn't matter at this point in time. I'm taking off the mountain range here. And there we go, mountain range. Yeah. Throw this in the Mick trash. I don't need it anymore. Pardon my head if you see it. All right. Now, we're going to get, I'm not going to use total black. All right, I won't do that. Okay, yes, it's masked here, but it's masked at a certain curve. Okay, because I'm going kind of from a picture. All right, Okay, I'm going into my phthalo. We're going to need plenty of this. I'm going to go in my phthalo, look down here, going into my red, because I want a nice deep maroonish kind of color, fairly dark. Now, I can add some, and I think I will, in this maroonish type color. I'm going to go with some burnt umber, because I want it fairly dark, but with a slight hint of a little bit of brown. All right. When you're mixing something this dark, does it really matter? It kind of does. But I got a little bit of maroon in here with this umber, which will make it extremely dark. No glycerin. No glycerin. At least not for these hills. These hills are backlit. Okay. Now the most important thing doing this mountains back here is the edge of the mountain. All right. And these guys are particularly kind of craggy-ish. So I'm just putting it in here. The craggier the better. Even if you have to go a little bit above where you mask that, that's good. Okay, that's fine. But I want to get a kind of a pattern here with these guys. Make it look like mountains. All right. As long as I got a pretty sharp edge, I don't care what's going on. I don't care what's going on here. It doesn't matter. This is what matters here. That edge. Get a nice sharp edge. Okay, to your mountain. You don't want no little stray brush hairs or whatever. You kind of want these kind of tight and right. All right, and the more crisp you have it, the more believable it will be. You got me? Okay. Just like that. Go a little bit into your cloud area, a little bit, so you cover all of that white or that light blue. All right. Remember, don't matter. Right there. I don't want no kind of hint of any kind of light peeking over the mountain as of yet. Now the next stage I'll be doing, the paint has to be pretty dry. But as of right now, as long as I can get this mountain tight and right, I'm good. Now that I've got that pretty much situated, okay, I'll go in with this deep color. Hopefully I got enough of it, and I'll bring it down like this. But I'm going up from the tape, like this, up from the tape into the mountain. All right. So there's no real leakage or anything going in between the tape. This is another reason why I don't use the glycerin, because the glycerin will get the paint loose enough that it'll seep through. And plus I'm going from the tape into the board here. All right, just like that. I should have enough to cover this guy. One would hope, because I would like to keep it all one color. So just like that. So we'll see. We'll see if I got enough. I should have enough. Rubbing it on here. This is nothing but pure paint. And it's dark. And I'm patting it on right now. And then I'll just do one of these things later. I'm just patting on the color. Make sure I get all of this color in here. Just like so. When we come back then, or when I come back, which will only be a nanosecond for you guys because of the editing, but when I come back, we'll work on the bottom half. And then we'll work on the regatta themselves. The paint's going to be relatively dry before I continue on with the regatta. So the clouds and up there with the glycerin, it has to be pretty dry before I put the regatta in. The regatta, the balloon regatta, which is the focal point, will be last to be put in here, believe it or not. And another thing, you really don't want no texture or whatever on the mountains. They got to be pretty solid one color because it's backlit, like I said. But now you guys, I think you guys can tell now. Okay, one, this is incredibly backlit. The mountains are of one tone. Okay, one solid tone. All right, and you see the brightness here. All right, no glycerin here because what I'm going to do next for the sun rays, okay, coming through. All right, basically the ground has to be kind of covered too. All right, and well, the sun rays probably come next to last because the sun rays has got to go over the buildings. We're going to work on perspective. Okay, the sunlight won't be perspective. The perspective will probably be right around here for the city, all right, or the neighborhood or whatnot. And we're going to do some street lines, but it's so high in the air, all right, not really detailed, but it's going to look as if you're taking a picture of the regatta and you're in the balloon, all right, more or less. Okay, now that I've wasted all that energy and breath explaining that, I'm just taking my brush. I should take a softer brush, and I'm just kind of lightly getting up the streak lines there, just like that. As long as it's solid, we're good, and I believe we're solid enough and we're good. So I can rinse off this brush, get me some coffee, and we'll continue this right on. All right, I know you guys are seeing plenty of the side of my head, but this is a 16 by 20 canvas panel. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, I'm going to take this off because I don't need it anymore. But as you see, the painting will more or less start to kind of come together. And if you can see, it's got a little bit of a bow in it on purpose. All right, even though we're high in the air, it's not completely flat level. Okay, so it's got a little bit of a bow there, and it's just coming around and whatnot. And we're gonna paint the bottom here. This would be more of a sienna yellow ochreish type of bottom, and then we'll start patching in little greenery, and then maybe some brownish gray for it looks like buildings or whatnot. And you'll see as we do the perspective and tap it all in, whatever. The clouds are finished. The brownish dark hills mountain there, it's actually a mountain, is finished. But nothing shows you how large they are yet because there's no scale. But everyone's seen what an upper aerial photograph of a city or a town or whatever, and how the streets would look and whatnot when you're a couple thousand feet in the air. And that's what it's gonna hopefully look like by the time I'm somewhat done with all of this. Okay. And plus, even if I wanted to, I can throw on some glaze in the clouds, whatever, to make them even darker. But I don't feel that's going to be necessary by the time I lay all this out, because it's just a simple wash of the sienna and bottom end here. I will add glycerin, but not right now. Right now, I'm gonna use just a little bit of yellow ochre. I'm putting it in a separate tray here. It's just easier to have it on my hand here. A little bit of yellow ochre, okay, and some sienna with it, just to darken the ochre a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna start adding the base of the ground, because in New Mexico the ground is like kind of sandy. All right, and how I'm gonna do this is make kind of a wash. So I'm dipping my brush in water. So I'm gonna use water instead of glycerin to get a nice wash over all of this. And then we'll do the typography when this dries up a bit. Okay, now as I do this, like I say, I'm just using the paint and water, and when it gets to the edge of the mountains here and the actual sandiness, I'll get as close as I can, all right, to the black here. It doesn't matter if I go over it a little bit or not, all right, because one, the ground isn't really that level. All right, getting a little more paint here so I can sneak this up close to the black, just like this. Now forgive me if my head becomes gets a little bit in the way or whatnot. I'm not doing it on purpose. There, and then I'll just block in the rest of this with this color. It does have water in it. All right, and I'm using more water in this paint. I mixed up plenty of the paint, and just blocking it in. No white showing. All right. I'm also listening to it with those of you who are familiar with her, Artfully Yours with Diana. At the time of my filming this, it's a Friday, and a buddy of mine, Ian, is doing a watercolor demonstration. Watercolor 101, as a matter of fact, if you want to look it up. So I usually listen to them on Fridays, but obviously I really got to get these tutorials going. This one here is going to be so far in the new year, before anybody really sees it at the time of me painting this, of course. All right, now I am running out of paint, which is fine. And I am covering this. This has got acrylic. I'll tell you what the brush is. This is a size 11 flat brush, so essentially it's just a 1-inch brush. And I'm just going, like I say, I got acrylic and water. All right, now I use heavy body paints. Okay, so in no medium, that's why it's going on the way it's going on. But even though I got water in this, it's still more paint than water. Okay, and when you add water, yes, the acrylic will expand while drying, so you're good. Okay, and because of a certain thickness of this paint right now, it's not going to seep through the tape either. All right, as long as you have your tape on pretty good, it's not going to seep through. And basically, I'm just getting rid of all the white underneath. Okay, now I can take a bigger brush and smooth it out a lot more, but I'll just take the brush and go from side to side, just like this. And I'll slow it down when I get to the top here. Get near the front. I'm listening to Diana Tease Bruce. He's another painter buddy of mine. Okay, just like that. Now I'm just gonna let it dry. You don't have to keep going over it, going over it, going over it, going over it. You don't have to keep doing it. So let's go back down here. Remember what I told you about gathering a vantage point. All right. So what I am going to do, because I can get away with this, and plus I want to show you it is a tutorial, I'm going to take a wee bit of white. All right. And I guess I'll put the vantage point right there, that little dot. All right, that little dot is going to dictate where the roads are going to go. All right. Now wait till you see how I'll do this. Okay, I really don't have to map out anything, and what I'm about to do is going to look kind of haphazard and a little weird for right now. But you have to, once again, see through what you're looking at. Okay, I'm going to get a brush. I think this my go-to brush will be perfect for what I'm about to do. All right, now I'm going to get patches of it'll be patches of, for right now, it'll be patches of probably patches of sienna. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of sap green. All right, and this is gonna establish, believe it or not, large trees, but we're so high in the air, it's just gonna look like tumbleweeds or something like that. Okay, so I am going into my sienna right now, and I'm gonna just tap it into the brush a little bit. Actually, I'm putting it just on this tray. I'm going into a little bit of the sap green, and I'm gonna kind of mix them a little bit. All right, I'm gonna get a little more sienna. All right, so we got a nice mixture of the sienna and the a little bit of the sienna and the brown. All right, and I'll start off down here, and I'm just gonna randomly do one of these numbers. Look, just like that, just random stuff like this. Make some come out like this. Okay, I'm not rubbing. It's just me doing a lot of tapping and touching just to get texture. Okay, I'll probably put some down in here. Hey, how's it going? Okay, what I'm going to do here, what I'm going to show you is how to make very tiny roads. All right, so this is one of the many methods. Okay, now both pieces of tape are at the horizon line, the vantage point. The vantage point, this is the horizon line. The vantage point is right here. Okay, now we're going to have two vantage points in this painting. One's here where the sunlight is, but where the roads are going to meet, or where they're coming from, it would be from up around here. All right, so I'm going to, excuse my head, I'm going to, if I have any more left, it doesn't seem like I do. All right, no problem. I'm once again going to do the same mixture. I think I'm going to put the mixture right here in this tray, because this is what I'm going to use. I'm getting a little bit of yellow ochre. I'm going to try to squeeze. I know I don't have much in this tube. I'm going to get a little bit of yellow ochre here. And some sienna. The same mixture. I'm going to add a touch of white to this mixture. I'm just putting it right here in the tray itself. All right. And I'm going to put the titanium white. All three colors are going to just go in this tray. It's just easier for me to mix. I don't have the other camera on, so it's just easier for me to do it this way. Now, what I am going to also do, I just have my brush with me here. Where is it? Oh, it's in my hand. All right, I'm going to mix up some of this yellow ochre, some of the sienna, put a little touch of white in there, just a little touch of white. Okay, and we're going to start to paint in parts of the road. All right, and it's just the simple matter of taking it and doing one of these numbers, just like this. Now the titanium white will help it kind of cover up some of the previous paint. Okay, that's basically what I'll do, just like that. Now I'm going to be doing this a number of times. Okay, so I'm going to set my brush down. I cannot put the tape onto the sky because the sky is quite wet still. Okay, and I'll slowly peel the tape off like this. All right, now I'll take the tape and slightly move it just a little bit. Make sure I don't touch my knuckles on it. Just a little bit, just like that, and I'll just set it right back there, just like that. I'm gonna take this tape, slowly peel it off. All right, and I guess I'll put it right here. You don't have to make it extremely just like that. Now this is all paint, no medium. Okay, so therefore I'm just getting, like I say, some titanium white, ochre, a little sienna, put it in there. The titanium white's just to help make it opaque. All right, so at the show, and I'm doing another one just like this, just like that. All right, some of these as I go along will meet, some will stop abruptly. It's just to give a look of like a corner would stop and there's a batch of trees or bushes or another corner or something like that, and there's the other one, just like so. Take this one off too. I'm pulling as I'm lifting, just like what you see here. All right, very simple process, really. I'm gonna come on the other side here. They don't have to necessarily be too like even. All right, get some little spaces, little gaps in between them. All right, they are the same, pretty much the same, almost the same width across. Now the reason why I can get away with a lot of this is because the paint dries so fast. Okay, that's why. So I can put one here. Okay, maybe up to here. I'll stop it right there, and then maybe I'll kind of continue it on this way, like so. Now all of this will make sense in a few minutes, just like that. I'll put the tape here, and that's not going to stick. And also try to keep your tape, because the more you peel and do what I'm doing here, okay, it's not going to be as sticky, and it's kind of what you want. All right, as long as you get from the meat at that white dot, and I'm going to keep it relatively thin. The thinner you make them, the further up in the air you are. Okay. I don't necessarily have to start it right from that point. I can start it right from here, just like this, and just stop it right about there. I'm gonna get some more of the mix. Like I said, I kind of want it a little more opaque. Okay, any other details or whatever else I want to add to it or take away can come later. I'm just getting the initial groundwork done on this. And by the way, if you make them a little wider, you can also pull off sun rays doing the same method. All right, so if you want to do things kind of different, kind of far away-ish or whatnot, this is kind of the way you do it, just like this. Just a few. I'll just dry brush some of this on here, using the extreme sharp edge of the blade, and you pop in a few going across like that. Doesn't even have to all the way match or meet. Okay, let me get my little tray here. Getting some more paint, just pure paint. No water, no nothing, doesn't need it. Just the pure paint. I'm using just the yellow ochre, the sienna, and titanium white. All right, you can put some right across here, just a nice little line going through like that. One coming in, maybe going across like this a little bit. Obviously the one there, the further back you go, the tinier the lines get, of course, you know. But let's peel this off, and you guys get a sense of what I'm doing here. All right. And you see, you're starting to get that familiar kind of grid pattern happening there. And remember, you need a little titanium white to make this work a little bit. As we get closer, of course, the lines get tinier and tinier. Now I can probably use a palette knife and pop some little lines in there, or a script liner and pop some lines in there, here and there. Okay, so as we get closer here, the lines get a little tinier. Okay. I'll just make them little, just like that. They don't even necessarily have to be completely even. Okay. Just little specks here and there. And the way I'm keeping it somewhat even is that I'm measuring it by the sides here. Okay. Sometimes it's just little wisps of paint here and there. Little streaks. Just like that. Just little streaks or something. Okay. Just like that. Start peeling it away here. Just little marks of light. I'm gonna come here and in front of a couple of them, I'm gonna put some cross, have them cross a little bit. And right now, all I'm doing is I'm not even using the second part of the tape. I don't have to. Everything else has been pretty much established. All right, but much like that. Okay. Now, when I start putting glycerin and stuff over this, and start putting the grays of the buildings and whatnot, it'll start making a little more cognitive sense, I suppose. All right. I enjoy doing the little detailing things like this. It takes a little time, you know, but it's definitely worth it. Just like that. And you peel it off. Like I said, you can do sun rays the very same way. So let's pan back and you guys get to see what I'm talking about there. See that? All right. So you got yourself a quick little city, at least some roads anyway. I'm just putting the tape in the garbage. All right. I'm gonna keep the tray here. I am gonna put a little bit of ultramarine blue in the same tray because we're gonna make gray. How can you get gray out of ultramarine blue sienna? Well, these two will kind of mix and cancel each other out. I'm going right into the same mix I had, the lighter mix. The brown and the blue will gray each other out, and the white will really gray it out. Okay, and I'm just mixing it right with my my brush here, my wide brush, same brush, and then we're gonna just do some taps and make it look like little city blocks or little pieces of the town, and I'll put them like right here. Okay, and I'll put a couple in there. I'll put some on the other side here, just like this. I'll have some cross on the other side, like so. Just like that. Make them look like little towns or whatever. Just like that. The closer they are to us, all right, and I'm following the perspective lines. Some of them are a little bigger, some of them a little wider, some of them across. Okay, so you can do little cross marks. If you follow the flow of your perspective lines, all right, it'll happen for you. It'll all come through. put a little bit of so you don't have to be as detailed because these are further away, so a couple of nice little well placed, and they're closer together, so just like so, just little bits of light, really, just like that. Make it bright enough so when the glaze gets over some of these, it will still be shown. So it's got to be maybe a little bit brighter because this is going into the shadow area of the mountain. All right, and so they got to be bright enough to be seen. Just a few, all up in here, just dots, really, just like that. So hopefully this makes some kind of sense to you what I'm doing. I don't believe I ever made anything, painted anything like this, actually. But just because I never painted it before, don't mean I don't know the techniques of how to get it done. It's just that I've never been asked to paint anything like this before, so kind of fun. Just like that. Cross over some of these guys here. All right, just like that. And I'm using no medium. Don't use any medium because all this it's dry, and you can go around to the next part. Okay, we're gonna establish so we're gonna do the mountain shade right now. Okay, we're gonna need two types of glaze for this. I'm gonna take the bigger brush because we're gonna need a little bit of shadow color, so I'm gonna get a little bit of brown with the big brush here. So I'm getting some brown, I'm getting some of the blue. All right, mixing it in there. We need two separate shades of glaze here. One is for the mountain. I'm putting in more paint than glaze here. One is for the mountain, which we're doing right now. The other one is for the clouds, because there's patches of cloud shadow here. You got me? All right, here we go. Time to have some fun. I'm gonna start right here with the hook. Goes out like this and comes like that. This is gonna be the shadow of the mountain right in here, just like this. Look at that nice little mountain shadow right there. All right, and I'm just matching as best I can the mountain shadow. Look at that. Okay, talk about play of light and dark. Wait till you see what happens. Okay, let's start right from here. Let's start from here. Get a little peak there. Keep on going. Keep on going. A little. And then it's got that little peak here, right? It's coming down. Got a little bit of a level here. Comes down. Comes down. That little peak there, and you're just gonna shade all this. You're gonna darken all that in. I'm getting the rest of what I have, and I'm just gonna glaze all that loveliness in there. Now the thing with glaze, okay, especially if you put it you got a hard edge where you outlined it, you can still take it, maneuver it, move it, just like I'm doing now. You move that color, pick up some of that color, and place it over here, just like that. Look at that, instant mountain color. All right, of course, I did the shadow of the clouds up there. Okay. I did it off camera. Sorry. But have no fear because I'm not done yet. You see those mountains back there? The shadow mountain. The shadow of the mountain is too light compared to the shadow of the clouds. But we're gonna remedy that right now. Because all I have to do basically is just glaze in on top with the same color. All right. And I'm just putting more glycerin into a mixture of just maroon and with a little bit of sienna. So actually what I'm doing is just glazing over with the same dark cloud color I added for the clouds. All right. Now this should be more than enough what I got just to, nope, it isn't. A little more blue, a little more red. Put it in there. Get it very deep. And then work the glaze in there. It's more glaze than paint. I'm using the same kind of a thick brush that I've used for this. And what I did to get it so that it's not a hard shadow is I took the blending brush and basically just blended it right out. There, that's a little bit better. And I'm going right across this, just like this. Now if I get it on the black of the mountain, or what's represented as black, it's not black. But you know that if you look at the first part, looked at it already. Anyway, so all I'm doing is glazing it in there, glazing that color in. It'll deepen. The bubbles will go away because it's got a little of shampoo in there. But that's it. Of course, it looks that way until it gets a little bit deeper in color. All right. Now, I didn't add anything on that mountain. The mountain is dry. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a thirsty brush and I'll just take it and wipe that glycerin right off that part of the mountain. I'm going a little higher, so it's going to cut right through that glycerin like a hot knife through butter. Just like that. I got to be careful that I don't get to there, just like that. Make sure I get all of it off. Just like that. Okay. And I just let this color kind of set a little bit. All right. So hopefully that is deep enough. If it's not deep enough, if it still looks a little bit too light, I'm just gonna have to go over it again to get it as dark as this, which I did not add any brown to this mix. And I think that might be the problem. And if it is the problem, which I think it is, then I'll add some brown to it. And I think that might be the issue. So I'll just deepen it a little bit. It's just got more brown in it. I'm going right across it, straight across with the brown, just like that. Okay, and you just really, I just wait for it to dry. And once again, I'm gonna get rid of that hard edge. There you are. It's hiding on me. I'll just softly blend out that really hard edge. Just like that. It doesn't take long. Soften it right out. All right. I'll take the bigger brush, and I really don't want those streaks. Very lightly, 3 hairs and some air, and I go in tight little circles just to blend those streaks out. Very, very soft. Extremely soft. And that's it. Just like that. And blend that right out. And now you got a nice shadow of a mountain. You still got its natural color, like little bits of the sun shining through. And basically that's it. All right. Just like that. And I'm looking at it, looking at it, looking at it. Still looking at it here. And I think we're pretty good. Now let's draw the camera. Well, I don't have to draw the camera back yet. Yeah, I do. Just a little bit more. Like, get the same two brushes. All right. And once again, very softly, I'm gonna blend that edge out, make it nice and soft. Just blend it out, just like that. See, just half in, half out, just like this, just like that. Blend it. I'm going into its other color of the glaze. I'll take the bigger brush, slow, just very soft movements, just like that. And just smoothing up the little wrinkles or the streaks and whatnot, just like that. Okie dokie then. I think we've kind of got what I wanted to get here out of this. All right. Now, the next thing coming after this is just the balloons. Putting the balloons all over the place. Now, you're not going to see too many shadows of the balloons because of the cloud cover. All right, when you put them in there, you're not going to see much of that. Okay, and plus the focal point is going to be the balloons anyway. It's not necessarily going to be the ground. The balloons are got this really loud, outlandish type colors to them. All right, some of the balloons are kind of like cartoon faces, and you know, some are normal, some are regular shaped balloons, and some got these crazy shapes to them. So I'll do a couple of those also, and that might be an entirely different segment because of the timing and just the nature of the painting. Basically is what I'm saying. So I'm putting some of these brushes back that I have all over the place here, kind of straighten up some things so I don't go crazy looking for stuff and not know where they are. All right, so see what I got here. Hold on. All right. Anyway, so basically, I just gotta let some of this dry, because then we're gonna get to the fun part, sweetheart. A lot of this is gonna have to totally dry. It's very warm in here. The glaze will dry in a few, but now comes where we can get kind of slick here. I can start it off here. Okay, I'm gonna show you, because remember about the bright part of the where the sunburst is going to be? That's right around in this area. So watch this. I'm taking some titanium white on a very soft brush, and I'm only pressing just a little bit just to get the smallest amount of paint on my brush. You're not even going to be able to see it, but it's on here. Okay, but watch what I'm going to do. In this area in here, all right, we're going to obscure that just a little bit. See? Look, very softly, only a few bits of white. You'll still see the outline, but it's going to be obscured by the brightness of I can put the excess over here, but it's going to be obscured a little bit by the brightness of that sun, just like that. All right, and I'm going to very coyly kind of direct some of those rays just right now, just like this. Very coyly, I'm going to do it just like that. This is just a guide. Okay, just a guide right now. Put one right around here, and this is going to be my direction of the sun rays. Just like that. Okay, just like that, and it's going to come. We even got a little one going this way, and I'm just making right now. It's just directions. That's all. Just directions right now. There. That's the direction that they're going to go in. Okay, I'm going to obscure it just a little bit more. See, I can just use it total white to obscure it, get rid of a lot of it on my brush, and we just see this little tap here. You can build upon this and build upon this as much as you need to. Okay, especially around where it's the brightest at, which is like around in there. Okay, and I'm gonna coax some of that. Just like that. Right there, there's one coming this way, one coming out toward that way like that. All right. So I'm just teasing some directional stuff here. Right up in here, I can put a stronger rub on it, just like that, just to obscure it a little bit. Just like that, obscure some of this. Obscure some of this part maybe. Just like that. All right. I can get away with it looking just like that, really. But it's got to come a little bit into the city itself, so I have to be very careful, so I have to wait. But I can get away with it looking just like that if I wanted to. I don't. So I'm gonna play with it a little bit more, but this would have to be dry. I can show you that tape method also. Go from the center, take the tape and just have it go across, but it has to be light enough where it kind of disappears in here. All right, which is why I did the glaze first and let it dry. Okay, you'll see as I do this. All right, I'm trying to think if I need anything else before I shut down. I don't think so. So I think we're good here. But I can't do no more until she shuts down, until it dries up. So basically, as far as the total painting is concerned, all right, it's about 95% done. As far as the initial background and everything, that's about 98% done, because all I got to do really is this stuff in here. Okay, and don't worry about like all this little stuff here, because all this more powerful rays overpower all of that stuff, and plus it will be kind of covered over, because the rays are going to go in the circumference of most of this mountain, and a little bit is going to stretch over here into the city a little bit. That's basically it, really. Yep, that's basically it. I can really pump up the sunlight right about here if I wanted to. Actually, it would be like more above, like up around here, if I chose to. Really, it doesn't. I don't think it really too much needs that. I mean, I can really beef it up and bring that bright right up on the edge of the clouds here, so there's a direct hit of the sun there, and I might do that. All depends, but I don't think so. I think I got it pretty bright here. If anything, I could drag the darkness down into it, which will make it just as dramatic also. Okay, all right, enough of me running my mouth. When I come back to this, most of this should be dry enough for me to do what I have to do with it, and then this painting is complete, and all I have is another really a very somewhat simple lesson plan to do. I'm just smoothing out something here that's kind of got my attention. 3 hairs and some air. I'm just smoothing out, because it's where the glycerin was a little heavy. So I'm not only wiping away the glycerin, but I'm also tightening up that little corner. And then that's about that. All right. So I believe that most of this is somewhat completed for right now until she dries, and then we're going to knock out everything. We're going to do the balloons. Yeah. Sun rays and the balloons, and that will be about it. All right. So when I come back, we're bringing it home. All right. Hey, welcome back. A wee bit of time has went by since I've last spoke to you. The sun rays. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking a 3/4 inch brush, and I got the paint pretty much on the sides. Okay, like so, and it's on fairly thin. All right, because you don't really want a very aggressive sun ray, at least not to start out with. Now, some of the glycerin is still wet, so I'm going to use a ruler. I would end up waiting probably a whole day to get this done, but I really don't want to wait that long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ruler, just like this, set it there, set it still, and very lightly, as a matter of fact, let me get it to the correct perspective there, like that. And I'm going to glaze very lightly, just stroke with the dry brush. I went on the wrong side. Very lightly, extremely, as light as you can, very lightly, just go on across. Okay, just like so. You don't need too many of them. All right, that might be enough. And you just lift it up, and you got one down. All right, go to where you think the center is of your sun, which is right about there. And I'll do this at kind of an angle, like this. Just like that. I might make it a little stronger. Just like that. And just come brush across like that. There's the other one. All right. Skip it. Like so. And still very light touch. Extremely light. Okay. Very light. Just lightly, just brush it across. They don't all have to meet. Is what I'm saying. Just like so. So you kind of see how it goes. All right. Come here. And once you set it, keep it. So we got one here. The lighter you can go across, the better. Better for everybody, really. Just like that. I'll just keep going across. All right. Just like that. And then just lift it up. There you go. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wipe off the paint off the brush. And we'll start another one. I'm gonna just lightly go across, get rid of some of the there. Some of the rays are turning a different color, and I don't want that. So little back and right strokes kind of get rid of some of that. All right. But as you can see, it's relatively easy to do. All right. All it takes pretty much is a kind of a steady hand there, and just a light touch. All right. Right on the side of the brush. You can even use a different size flat brush if you would like. All right. Just to give a variance in the sun rays. Start where you think the middle is for your sun, and you do it accordingly. All right, this one here, it's a little slanted, but we're gonna make this work right about here. I'm gonna go right in the angle of the mountain itself, like this. Right at the angle of the mountain itself, and I'll just slide it on down. Try to get it to the angle of the mountain. I'm gonna turn the brush around. Just like this. Just like that. And gently lift up the ruler. All right, and this is what you're looking for. Okay, just what you're looking for. This one ought to be a cool one right about here. I'm gonna get another little slight tab of paint. You don't need as much. I'm gonna stick with the angle of this mountain too. It's just a guide, just like so. Like so, and gently lift it up. Come around this side. I more or less want to, I'm going to use the narrow end of the brush on this one. Very light, extremely light, okay? Just like this. This one gives a stronger burst, and that's fine, just like that. You don't need a lot of it. Just gently pick up your ruler. All right, so you don't make too much of a mess per se. Just like that. Maybe I'll have this one come down into the just for a little bit there, just for a little variance. The rest I can really pretty much do by hand. Some comes straight downward. Then a little bit at an angle over here, like so. And I can just kind of brighten up this, tap some more bright in there, just like that. Just like so. I really don't have to add one straight down. That won't be necessary. Get this a little stronger in here, fade some of that out. Well, there you go. Put a little bit more glow in there. And there you have it. I don't have to add no more to that. That's all the glare I would need. Okay. So, we'll point back a little bit. And there you have it. A complete painting within itself. Alright. And that's just using a ruler and some dry brush titanium white. And that's all she wrote. Some of it stuck going no further than the boundary of the mountain. Some of it's going into the city itself. All right, but it all makes for a very interesting vantage point. Okay, now I got a little bit of white up in here, and that's okay. A couple of pats, a couple of little strokes, and away it goes. See that? Just like so. There. Alrighty then. Of course, if you want to get more dramatic, you can take some of them rays and pop some that way too. That way. Some probably going this way. If you want it to, pop out like that. Well, it depends on how dramatic you really want things to be. Okay. Now, as I'm looking at it here, I probably can tone down a little bit of this in here. I could, but then again, I'll also pop a balloon right up in there too. So all of that would work. I have to be careful because I know some of this is still wet. All right. So let's say if I put one approximately, I guess for starters, we'll put one. Got a wide top like this, and it kind of goes down like a wide teardrop like this. Okay, and you get that little bucket there. All right, so that's one down. All right, maybe a little bow up top like that. Ugh, I knew that was gonna happen. All right, and we're gonna just put various ones all over the place. Okay, now this is just straight black. I'm gonna put one against this black background per se. They come in different heights, different sizes, so we'll put a bigger one right here, like that. We'll have them come down like this, just like that. Now, obviously, the glycerin is making this gray, and that's fine. That is fine because we can just go right back over it again. So, well, actually, no, I don't. Well, maybe it all depends because some of these are silhouetted dark. All right, so that actually may work. I'll make my choice on which ones will remain dark, which ones will remain semi-dark. We got some way up here. Different sizes, guys. Different sizes, different makes. We'll get to the funkier ones a little bit later. Let's get some regular ones in here. All right, just like that. Pop in there. So we're gonna have them all over the place, especially the smaller ones. The smaller ones will help with the illusion of some bigger ones. Okay, I have to be careful because a lot of this is still somewhat wet, so I have to be careful with my hand placement. Just like this. Just like so. And they all will be silhouetted. Some of these will be silhouetted, some of them won't. But as you can see, well, this is surrounded by white, but straight black. I think I did a good job because these mountains aren't black, and I mixed the colors to make black. And that's pretty close match. Okay. So I'm actually quite happy with it. We'll put one around in here like this. Something like that. Make it look balloon shaped though. And you put the basket under there like this, just like so. Okay, so I got a group of these. They're got some distance to them. We'll get to some even larger ones. Oh, I'm gonna have to go backwards here. Well, let's put one around here like this. He can be a larger one, just like that. I'm going upside down here, and I think you guys can see this. Turning my brush around so I can get it as dark as possible here, just like that. Like this, kind of. There we go. Give him more of a roll there. And basically, all I'm doing really is just blocking these guys in. Put the basket there like that. All right. So like I say, some of these can be in various colors, some of them will not. You know, I can probably put some way back there, like they're really traveling. Put a really tiny one, like right here, look like a little dot back there. Actually, not that one. I have to make this one bigger. I messed up. Cause I'm using the side of the brush and not the tip. But don't worry, I'll put one back there, little fella, little dot back there somewhere. I'm just trying to find a spot where I can settle my hand. It's going to be kind of tough because this is still wet. All right. There. Look at that, just a dot. Just like that. And keep him back there. He's way back there. You can barely see it on the camera, but he's right there. All right. But he is way back there. We'll get some nice sized ones in here somewhere. We'll put one. I guess I can throw a nice sized one. Let me see. Well, I really don't want to do the funky ones. I'll just keep them normal. I really don't want to do Mickey Mouse ones and stuff like that. I'll just keep them normal balloons that everybody would associate with in the painting. I'll do it like that because the other one might just be a little much. We'll put one nice size one right here. All right. Block him in. Just like that. Just block it right in. And I'm going to show you what I do. This one here will be a little more detailed. Get some healthy dose of black here. Move that black around. Yes, it's gray. It's okay. It's A-okay if it's gray. Now, what I'm going to do with this, okay, I'll put in like this. Little, you know how the balloon's got those little striation things going on with it. How you have cups and gathers the air. That's basically what that is. And he would have a pretty detailed basket there. Now you might not see this. It is gray, but it's all right. Something about like that. So we just got a bigger one right in front here. Make sure it's even there. There we go. Like that. All right. Clean off my brush because it's turning more gray than black, of course. Can I touch here and maybe pop a silhouetted one right around in here somewhere? Like so. Kind of work it in there. Put the basket down here like that. So we just silhouette one of those guys. Okay. I might have another one. We'll get these two kind of detailed ones. Let me think here. Let me think here. Where can I put it? I think we just about actually got what I would like to have on here to keep it at least looking pretty decent. We'll do it. We'll just end it at that. Okay. Some of these fellows are quite a ways back. Okay. I want to just take a little bit of red and I'll start coloring these guys in like this. So we got one here. Now, as long as I got the magenta, I'll start putting in different colors of these fellas in here. So we got one magenta here, just like that. Maybe we have one that's we'll put one right here with a stripe going across them like that. All right. Okay. I got a blue. Let's get some blue here. I'm gonna tease this blue with a little bit of white and lighten it up a little bit. And well, no, he's not gonna show that well. Get him a little lighter, like that. We'll pop up. Just like this. And I'll put a stripe or something on him back there, but he's back there. He's a little light. All right. Put This is the funny part, is adding the colors to these guys, right? These are kind of backlit. Maybe I'll add a little bit of blue with this guy, make him kind of just like that. Okay, so he's got a little design on him there. Okay. Got blue, got red. Let's mix this together. Make it kind of violet. Put some white in there, kind of purple him up a little bit. And we'll put him, we'll get the purple one over here. Just like this. Just like that. Put him right in there. Just like that. I'll get some white, kind of brighten them up a bit. See, and brighten them up a little bit there. Okay. I'm looking. This guy right here, he's not really directly in the sun, so we'll give him a little something over here in the corner. That little fella right in there like that. Okay. Rinse off the brush. You know what? How about yellow? How about yellow ochre? Yellow ochre, get some white in it and brighten it up a little bit. It's like that. It's gonna be a nice little color for him. Brighten it just like this. And then we'll pop this color right here on this guy, right here. Now the yellow ochre with the titanium white, very, very very opaque, goes right over that black. Just like that. All right. Oh, like I say, we got some guys kind of silhouetted back there. I'm just looking. Oh, you know what? We'll have one looking kind of. Pick one here. Well, we have this one, this color right here, in the back there. Just like that. So we got that one back there like that. We're gonna get one, let's get some red, put some white in it, kind of brighten that red up a little bit. Brighten that red up just a tad here. Make him a brighter red, this guy right here. I want to cover up and get as close to that black outline as I can. Okay, I'm gonna get a little white. Just a little bit of white, and we'll highlight some like that. Just like that, little bit of there. Get a little white, and we'll kind of put a highlight on some of these guys here. Just like that. Highlight one side of these fellas. You know, even on this little guy, give him a little bright little dab or something. This fella too. Brighten him up a little bit there, like that. All right. Even the ones that are silhouette, and give them a little something on that side there. Little something back there. Even this fella, give him a little shine there. All right. Okay. All right. Also, I'm looking at a couple of them, because some of them are kind of a ways away. Because some of these fellas are in the background there. All right. Just getting a little bit of white. Come above and a little bit of a shape there. Actually, I'm gonna have to get rid of some of these. Kind of reshape them a little bit too. Reshape them. Reshape this one a little bit. Aim them downward like that. I do believe I ran out of yellow, so I'm gonna get a little touch of yellow, and we'll give a little yellow, little yellow right in here. Of course, it's not totally dry, but it's all right. We're gonna keep working at it. Get a little bit of yellow, tinting on it, keep working at it there, just like that. Just like this. While it's wet like this, you can kind of manipulate it and play with it. Get rid of some of that black outline there. Shape it up a little bit. Okay. I'm just drying it, drying the brush off here. And we'll something of that sort. Going to my white. And this time put the shine on the right side. I'm just putting in the shine on some of these guys are kind of hitting there. A couple of them are silhouetted back there. But alrighty then. As I'm looking at it, I'm going to take my little softy brush and I'm going to do a little bit of blending on this balloon here. It's just this fella real soft, like kind of just like that. Soften some of that glow a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go into my ochre. I think I might have a little bit of brown left in there. Kind of darken up and put some basket color in there for some of these fellas. A little bit of, well, start putting in baskets. Some of them it just takes a little bit of color. Man, these two are silhouetted. He needs a basket. This guy, he needs a basket. He needs a basket. Put that basket in there. He needs a basket. This fella right here needs a basket. All right. Some of them are, like I say, kind of silhouetted there. So, and sometimes it just takes an impression of a basket. But as you can see, some of them got the highlight to them. All right. Maybe get that highlight on the edge there. Like that. Keep playing with it there. Like so. All right. Okay then. Small regatta, but it's a regatta. As far as the balloons with the funky shapes, nah, not today. Not today. That I'm getting kind of tired. But it's not dry enough. It's still got the glaze. It's gonna take a little bit for this to dry. So, and I know because of the glycerin, but that's fine. That is fine. When it's totally dry, it's totally dry. But I'm done with her. Sign it. This is like one of the last paintings too, almost. This is painting number 9. I got one more, and that one's more of a teaching thing than anything else. And that one ought to be pretty interesting. All right. So that is the end of that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I had fun. Made for a very long day, but I did have fun. All right, finally done. All right, guys. There is a PayPal link in the description below if you would like to donate for me getting more paints and canvas and all that stuff. The Facebook channel is also would have appeared already, and pretty much this is it. The aerial perspective is there. The linear perspective is there. Okay. What else? I think that's about it, really. So I hope this helps you out. And the cloud shadows are in there, the mountain shadows are in there. It showed you how to glaze and whatnot, how to do the sun rays if you would like. So I believe all I needed to show and wanted to show is in there. The clouds are something else, but they're like I say, this whole scenery is pretty much taken from a photo, and yeah, that's basically how you would do it. Okay, I used to do it and make it look convincing, so a little different than the majority of stuff I've done. So love to hear your comments, what you think about it, good, bad, or indifferent. All right. So I shall see you when I see you. Number 9 down, one more to go. I'll check you guys later.